Welcome to Cryptocurrencies, the Future of Digital Money show at PortfolioWealthGlobal.com. My name is Michelle Holliday. Today we are welcoming a good friend and one of the most promising new stars within the cryptocurrency sector, Randall from Crypto Love. We have just published our top 5 cryptocurrencies for 2018 and the most comprehensive report on cryptocurrencies anywhere online at PortfolioWealthGlobal.com/top 5. Today, we are going to dive deep into some of the lesser-known projects on the market. And just like in 2017, Portfolio Wealth Global's founder, Tom Beck, identified Cardano at 5 cents, Stellar at 2 cents, and Stratus recently at $9.50. He sees the monstrous gains for 2018 coming from projects that will compete with big whales but are not yet well known. With that, we are being joined by Randall from Crypto Love. Randall, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you. My first question to you is this. Do you believe this is a digital financial renaissance that is as monumental as the internet? And if so, could you please share some of the examples of why this will reshape existing industries in the future?
Yeah, so I think this is most certainly as important as the internet, if not more so, and I think it's also mixed with the gold rush of 1849. So I say that because everybody talks about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but the main value is not in the currency part of it. It's due to the technology, the underlying technology called the blockchain. And what that is a decentralized record of basically anything. So initially, it was a record used to exchange transactions. Then with the Ethereum network, it was used with smart contracts, so basically contracts that could be fulfilled without people. And now we're seeing it used in all types of fashions. So the technology is going to revolutionize things the same way that the internet revolutionized things. But the second part to that, the gold rush, because right now it really still is almost in its infancy. Like, I think that the next couple years we're going to see explosive growth because just a few days ago on January 13th, Bitcoin hit 80% mined. So that means that Bitcoin, in order to be formed, needs to be mined, and mining is just a term to describe computers doing algorithms to process those transactions on the blockchain. But at that date, 80% have been mined. That makes only 20% available, and so it becomes that much more scarce. And kind of just with the 80-20 principle, it's been leading up. We've seen a whole bunch of enthusiasm this year, and I think in the coming few years, while the rest of that's mined, they say potentially by 2040 all of it will be mined, but in those years it's definitely going to be a lot more. People are just going to want it, and because of that, are we in a bubble? Yeah, eventually we'll probably see some type of bubble, but in that time frame, there's a lot of money to be made in it, and when people see the scarcity, they're going to really want to get into it.
Randall, is the term cryptocurrencies misleading? When we really look at the altcoins, we learn that their white paper does not designate the lion's share of them to become currencies in the same sense that we transact, say, dollars or euros. Of course, there are certain currencies like Dash and Monero and upcoming privacy coins that do aim to replace fiat currencies, but the whole sector itself, it's much more than that. Would you agree?
I totally agree. So cryptocurrency is somewhat misleading in the term. There are some altcoins that are cryptocurrencies. So ones like you mentioned, Dash and Monero. There's also ones like Litecoin and Vertcoin and Coin that aim just to be transactional currencies. So yes, those are cryptocurrencies. But a lot of the other altcoins are either coins used as a gas to help the ecosystem run. So things like Ethereum and Ether or Neo and Neo Gas, those cryptocurrencies are actually just used to help the ecosystem run. But then there are other things. Basically, any platform, any project being brought to the blockchain can create their cryptocurrency, and that can be used as more of like a loyalty points type of thing. Like if you have airline miles or something like that, those are loyalty points. They hold some type of value for you. And the same thing with a lot of cryptocurrencies that are coming out. A lot of them are somewhat loyalty points, and they have value because people believe they have value. Same as same as any other type of money, gold, anything is valuable because people believe it's valuable.
Let's switch gears just for a moment and discuss this revolution from a social aspect and a philosophical one. Is this putting the seal on the existing world order of corrupt governments and banking policies?
I sure hope so. After one of my friends recommended I watch a movie called Thrive, I made a video called Bitcoin Topples the New World Order. So basically, for a long time, governments have been printing money, but it's not even the government who prints the money. And so it's the Rothschilds who really control all of it. And I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is kind of a kick in the teeth to them, because for the first time ever, anyone in the world can have valuable transactions without having to buy into their model of money that they completely control. They can manipulate it however they want. And so I think that scares them a lot. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of attempts by governments to control it, to regulate it in whatever fashion, because they're scared. If they can't put their hand in your pocket, if they can't control everything you do, if you can't be their slave anymore, how are they going to control everything?
Tom Beck has coined the term peak intrusion to describe where we are in terms of how much our governments spy upon us. He sees the new technology, such as the privacy coins and what they offer, as liberating. He also sees extraordinary value in it. Recently, Tom found an undervalued altcoin unknown to anyone outside true crypto investors. It's part of our exclusive report at portfoliowealthglobal.com/5. It's called ZCoin. What are your thoughts on privacy coins in general and on ZCoin in particular?
I think that privacy coins are really important. So, like you said, we're spied upon all the time. I mean, even new phones nowadays, they listen to you all the time. So there's really no such thing as privacy. But with these privacy coins, we can at least be given a little bit more privacy in terms of our money, our financial transactions. And ZCoin is actually one of my favorite privacy coins as well. I've made a video that's gotten over 100,000 views on my top 5 long-term cryptocurrencies to own, to hold, to invest in. One of them is ZCoin for a few reasons. Number one, it's a privacy coin, and I really like the way that they do privacy. So each privacy coin keeps the transactions private in a certain way, a different cryptographic way. Some use ring signatures, but ZCoin uses the ZeroCoin protocol, where basically every coin is minted anew. So basically you spend the coin, and then it's a brand new coin is minted, and then you spend that one. So the coins actually have zero history. It is a virgin coin each time, so there's no way to trace what's been going on with that. Now, some people might say, but what about nefarious people doing bad things? I don't really worry about that personally, because people are going to do bad things no matter what. You know, they figured out how to launder money a long time ago. They're going to figure out how to do whatever with whatever they can. There's always going to be people doing bad, but I think there's more people who are doing good. So I just try to focus on the good things. But another thing that's very attractive about ZCoin is that they have a very limited supply. So every cryptocurrency has a certain established number of coins that they have. For instance, Bitcoin has 21 million. That's a very well-known number. ZCoin only has a little over 3 million. So they have a very limited supply. And because of that, we see with a lot of limited supply coins that they become very valuable. So I think those two things, the way they do privacy and also the limited circulating supply, those two things will help affect the price of ZCoin quite positively.
Randall, another huge call from us is the undervalued coin called Liske. And we understand that you're totally excited about this one. Can you explain why?
Oh, yeah, I love Liske. For as long as I've had my channel, I've been talking about Liske. And I think that the number one thing behind Liske, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I really like Liske, but the number one thing is that their whole goal with Liske is to make it easy for user adoption. So basically right now we're seeing all these different cryptocurrencies coming out, all these ideas, all these things being put on the blockchain, but it's really the ones that get user adoption, that get a whole bunch of people behind it and using it, that are going to be very valuable, because those are going to become the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Googles. Those are going to become those of the blockchain. And I think Liske has the potential to do that because they've made it very simple for any developer to go ahead and create a decentralized application on their platform. And how they've done that is their whole platform can be coded in JavaScript, which is the most widely known programming language. About 70% or more of developers, of programmers across the world know how to code in JavaScript. So that lowers the bar substantially. So pretty much anyone, as soon as they release the software development kits, which they're planning to do February 20th in Berlin, as soon as they do that, then pretty much anyone can create an application on Liske's platform. And another great thing about Liske, right now we're seeing issues with Ethereum having scalability. So Ethereum is one of the most popular blockchains right now because a whole bunch of different platforms can run on the Ethereum network. We're having all these ICOs on the Ethereum network, and they create ERC20 tokens, which are Ethereum tokens. But there was just the first popular game to ever run on Ethereum called CryptoKitties. That came out and completely clogged up the Ethereum network, like bogged it down so much to where it wasn't even usable. And so Ethereum's definitely seeing some very serious scalability issues. They're working to address that, but a lot of newcomers like Liske have that already solved. So Liske is a little bit different from Ethereum because it has a main blockchain, but then it also has side chains. So every decentralized application will have a side chain, where if that side chain gets blocked up by CryptoKitties, it only affects CryptoKitties. And then everything else still runs just as fast as ever. And so I think those two things, the basically user adoption and scalability being solved, really gives Liske a huge advantage.
Oh, that's huge. It's scalability that's really making everybody sort of pause right now with Bitcoin because it's really slowed down everyone's transactions.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think this year in particular, scalability is one of the big issues that's being addressed on the blockchain. So platforms that have scalability already solved, things like Liske, things like EOS, things like Neo, those are going to be really big this year, I think.
What are your personal big calls for this year? I know you just named a few, but if you could go over them in a nutshell.
Yeah, so I personally, I like the platforms because I always try and think of this in terms of how successful things have worked previously. So we're comparing the blockchain to the internet. So I want to take a look at these successes on the internet to see how successful things work. And it's usually the platforms that do very well. For example, the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, Amazon. So it's these big platforms that everything else can run off of that do very well. So because of that, my personal preference in terms of cryptocurrencies are to invest in the platforms. So like I said, I like Liske, I like Neo, I like EOS. I still very much like Bitcoin. And then another one, I recently did a video a few weeks ago about my number one pick for 2018. And in that, I chose Nebulous, which is a search engine for the blockchain. The reason I chose that is because just like everything on the internet can only be found through Google, or mostly it's only found through Google. Google's kind of the one overarching thing, and because of that, Google's one of the most profitable businesses in the world. Well, I think that Nebulous, which is doing the same thing on the blockchain, has the potential to do that. So, and also, additionally, they have an absolutely stellar team. They have like a bunch of hard hitters, people who have worked with Neo, people who have a lot of connections. So I think that's one of the big ones out there. So those are my main choices. Also, another thing I should mention is just decentralized exchanges. So right now we have centralized exchanges that can be taken down by government. Because of that, the security is somewhat lacking. So decentralized exchanges will probably be a big thing this year, and one called Loopring is one of my favorites because they're already basically you keep control of your cryptocurrencies in your wallet. They just set up a trade, and whenever a trading pair is found, it just trades, but you maintain control of your cryptocurrencies all the time, which is really nice as opposed to the centralized exchanges where you just give them your cryptocurrencies in exchange for an IOU. And Loopring is already set up with the Ethereum network, and they're going to be ready for Neo and any other platforms in the future.
Now, I know you just spoke about Loopring. Are there any others that would be categorized as your favorite exchanges, and what are your favorite wallets?
Sure. So in terms of centralized exchanges, the two that I prefer right now are called Binance and KuCoin, KuCoin. The reason for that is because they have a lot of the newest cryptocurrencies. They have a very nice user interface. They have good customer support. So because of that, those are by far my favorite centralized exchanges. In terms of other options for decentralized exchanges, there's also one called 0x and another called Kyber Network. So those are other options of decentralized exchanges that are in the works. In terms of wallets, there's a lot of different choices out there. I prefer keeping most stuff on a hardware wallet. The one that I use is called a Ledger Nano S, and that works really well. Additionally, I don't even keep this thing in my house because I've heard stories about people getting robbed for their things, so I just keep it as safe as possible in a very secure location, not in my house. But that's a very easy way to keep cryptocurrencies. But if you want to use a different wallet, there are a whole bunch of different options. Probably the two most popular would be blockchain.info, using that wallet for Bitcoin, or my Ether wallet, using that wallet for Ethereum and ERC20 tokens.
Randall, in your opinion, should governments tax gains from this sector?
that is a $1 million question.
On the spot, yep. Right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a timely question because every tax season is coming up. Everybody has to pay taxes, and actually, this Sunday I'm having a tax webinar with some crypto tax experts. But everybody has a varying viewpoint. I think that there are some taxes that are very useful to pay. For instance, I love going to public libraries. I love that there's that many books available that I can just go there and borrow for free. I don't mind paying taxes for that stuff. I don't mind paying taxes to help people who are in really bad situations. I don't mind paying taxes for fire departments, police departments, and everything like that. But where I do mind paying taxes is for these fat, bloated bureaucrats to sit around on their yachts and just make up these insane laws that really they have no say in, and that I don't like paying taxes for. So I think on one hand, taxes can be very useful because they help support everyone and they help maintain order in a very nice society. But on the other hand, there's a lot of tax money that's just being used in a very poor format. So unfortunately, they're going to try to put their hands in our pockets however they can. And, for everyone out there, you pay your taxes because if you don't, they'll put you in prison. Like hire an accountant, pay your taxes, or else they're going to put you in prison. But I think that in the future, there's definitely going to be a lot of changes going on with cryptocurrencies just because the government, once we separate money from the government, they really lose their power. They have to be more just government in terms of doing what politicians do as opposed to controlling money as well.
Randall, from a career perspective, how can people get involved in this industry? What are the options to find their own dream job? And what would you do if you had to find employment in the next 24 hours?
So I think for anyone who wants to get into cryptocurrencies full time, it really is the time to do it. So every day there's at least 10 ICOs that are being launched pretty much per day. And an ICO is an initial coin offering, kind of similar to an IPO, but not really because it is more like crowdfunding an idea to be put on the blockchain. But basically, all of these ICOs, what they're built on is a very passionate team that has an idea, probably a working platform already, and they want to make this happen. So if you really want to be involved in cryptocurrencies and if you don't have resources, this is a great way to get involved in it. Another option, people can trade cryptocurrencies. So especially when we have these bull markets like we've seen for the past couple of months when Bitcoin has just been charging ahead and all the cryptocurrency has been doing that also, people have been making full-time income trading cryptocurrencies, and that can be done also. It should be noted, though, that most brand new traders lose money. 90% of day traders lose. It's no different in cryptocurrencies because most of the day traders, the newer traders, are prone to emotional trading, and that's how we lose money. And then the second part of that question, if I had to find a job in 24 hours, I would do the exact same thing I'm doing now. If I needed money, I would, do what I could to take out a credit card or borrow or something like that. But then I would just start a YouTube channel again, make videos every day, start giving content, because cryptocurrency is a very popular place. I never thought my channel would be as popular as it is now, but I get to talk about what I love with people who do the same thing, and everybody enjoys it, and I'm able to make this a full-time career.
Randall, on that topic, please tell us all about your channel and what it is you do.
Okay, so my channel is called Crypto Love, and basically what I do, my goal is to add value to the world. And how I do that is by teaching people about investing fundamentals, but also talking about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, everything that's going on with the daily markets. So fortunately, it's pretty easy to do because there's over 1,500 cryptocurrencies, and every day they're changing. So there's always something to talk about. But in terms of exactly what I do on the channel, like I said, I aim to add value. My goal in life is self-realization, and I realize that money is a step in the path. But I'm at a point in my life where I have enough money to do everything that I need to do. Now it's just I really get value from contributing to other people's life. When they write to me and they say, "Your videos have changed my life," that really makes a huge impact to me. When they write to me saying, "I have millions of dollars now because I follow your recommendations," that really makes a huge impact for me. I mean, I don't even need to set an alarm clock anymore. I set an alarm clock, but I wake up before my alarm clock. I jump out of bed. My heart is singing because I just contribute and add value. So what I do on the channel, I make videos every day about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I try and add as much value to people's lives. I try and make them as much money as I can, even though I'm not a financial advisor. But I just try and share the good word of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies on YouTube. I also have a website, crypto-love.com, where I have lots of training about cryptocurrencies. I also have a bunch of testimonials up there, so if you want to see what people have said about the channel, you can go take a look there. And then we're also available on the social networks, but it's primarily the YouTube channel and the website.
Now, Randall, finally, last question, and this is on a personal note. Could you please share with us a little bit about your own background and what led you into this industry?
Yeah, so, I have kind of a storied history of my background, but basically, I was brought up being told that, get a good job, do whatever, all that stuff that doesn't really work. So I went to undergrad. I studied physics and philosophy. I did my senior research in quantum mechanics. Right after that, I got a job doing satellite programming for NASA, working on some land imaging satellites. I did not like that, so I quit that job and moved to France for a couple of years, teaching English in high schools there. And then after that, while I was there, I was applying to vet school. After that, I went to vet school down in the Caribbean, and after that, I was a vet for many years, a veterinarian. And I really didn't enjoy that either. I got into being a vet to work with dairy cows, but it turns out that going to vet school is insanely expensive, and the pay that vets make is next to nothing. So that wasn't a good financial decision either. But the benefit that I got from that was I was in such bad financial shape. Like, it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to vet school. Average vet salary is well under $100,000 per year. And I was in such bad financial shape and in such pain that it drove me to do whatever it took to get out of that situation. So literally from day one, me becoming a vet, I started real estate wholesaling, buying and selling houses at a discount to make an extra income. Then I got a job teaching surgery down in the Caribbean. So while I was there, I couldn't wholesale houses, so I just started doing internet marketing at that time, doing whatever I could just to make additional income to try and pay off my debts as soon as possible. And then from there, once I found out about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, which was in this year, in 2017, well, I guess that would be last year now, but in 2017, I found out about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and I said, this is the most revolutionary thing. Anyways, I was still working 60 hours a week as an emergency veterinarian, but every single second of my spare time, I was researching about Bitcoin and cryptos. And I saw someone on YouTube who, right when the Bitcoin Bcash hard fork was happening, I didn't know what to do about that. So I was watching a video by Crypto Daily, and he makes you laugh. He's a really funny guy. And I said, wow, that looks fun. I want to see if I can do this. So I just started making a video every single day. And it just started picking up. And now, months later, I have a very thriving channel, great community. We have a lot of fun. And I'm having the time of my life because I'm doing what I love, talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and being able to make a living on it.
And removing all of the stress, because it sounds like you're making a wonderful living at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely removing all the stress. And really, at this point in my life, it's hard to believe that all of this is possible, but it's kind of like a mental mind shift where really everything that you want in life is possible. And that's a really cool spot to be in. I'm very grateful.
Randall, this has been an amazing interview. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm more than happy to come back and chat anytime.
Oh, please do. Randall from Crypto Love, one of the best new rising stars in this wild and exploding industry. For Cryptocurrencies, the Future of Digital Money show, I'm Michelle Holliday at PortfolioWealthGlobal.com. Today we spoke with Crypto Love, a new channel from Randall, who quit his job and became 100% focused upon making a living from cryptocurrencies. Around the globe, every second, people are making brave choices and looking for ways to profit from the rise of altcoins. The blockchain technology is beginning to catch fire. Exchanges are being overwhelmed, backlogged, and cannot handle the demand for new accounts. This is going to discourage the users of the major exchanges, who cannot get access to a substantial exposure to the growth potential. In 2018, we will see institutional money looking at new IPOs. Blockchain-focused companies, from miners to equipment providers to exchanges that will go public. The stock market still offers regulated and liquid trading, which most funds prefer compared to non-liquid exchanges. Portfolio Wealth Global will be covering 3 major opportunities in the first quarter of 2018. Go to PortfolioWealthGlobal.com/top5 to download our top 5 on the watch list. Thanks for tuning in today. For Cryptocurrencies, the Future of Digital Money show, I'm Michelle Holliday at PortfolioWealthGlobal.com.